Chainsaw
But
Man.
for now, let's turn our attention to the main event. Games. And right out of the gate, even the traditional raster performance is spectacular compared to the mighty...
Wait, holy fuck! Wait, what? Wait, that's insane, no?
3090 Ti. Yes, you're seeing that correctly. Cyberpunk 2077 ran 2.5 times faster on the 4090 than the 3090 Ti, bringing minimum frame rates up from sub 50 to over 100. We had to triple check that just to be sure, but
wait, that's insane.
We're also looking at minimum frame rates beyond 120 at 4K in Forza Horizon 5 compared to sub 90 on the 3090 Ti, and it is incredible.
700 watts? No, nah, there's no shot.
Stable. Assassin's Creed Valhalla's frame rate also shot up by about 50% on the 4090, enabling 4K 120 FPS gameplay without any compromises. Remember, this is just the rasterization performance, what we thought NVIDIA was
Like, also stop gaming 4K, don't game 4K, stop pushing 4K, nobody gives a fuck about 4K, 4K is a joke, 4K is trash, 4K is a gimmick, fuck you.
Trying to hide from us by showing off their RT performance in the press materials. Far Cry 6, another Ubisoft title, doesn't seem quite the same improvement, however, at about 30% or so across the board. It's not bad, like, not at all, but I'm just ruined.
Yes, it's not in a few years. You know, if you want to go live in the future, bro, put the fucking Mark Zuckerberg headset on, put your fucking face tracker, leg tracker, put your dildo on, your fucking far range, garbage ass fleshlight director up your asshole or some shit like that. If we live in the future, make a fucking time machine. We live in the current year and day and age of right now. Who gives a fuck about the future? Who cares?
And after seeing those other results. Improvements continue to become more modest in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, where we're likely starting to get CPU limited. At 4K. I'll let that sink in for a moment. Maybe wash it down with a big swig from our Chungus 64-ounce water bottle from LTDstore.com. Flipped on its head. The RTX X3090 Ti outperforms the 4090 throughout multiple runs. It's especially surprising because the GPU core clocks and the load remained high. I mean, if you've got an explanation, I'd love to see your take in the comments. Dropping the resolution down to 1440p,
I don't know how that works. There could be a lot of reasons for that.
Becoming even more CPU bound. But
there could be a lot of reasons for that. I guess fucking engine or some shit, or like it's an old game, whatever. But whatever.
Critically, the minimum frame rates in Forza Horizon 5 are massively improved.
That's huge,
making for a smoother overall experience.
CPU. Like,
interestingly, CS:GO actually manages to return to normalcy at 1440p. So I don't know. Maybe we've got a driver bug at 4K or something. Now, do you still remember that Cyberpunk result? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So check this out. We're going from 25 FPS on average on the 3090 Ti to a staggering 96 FPS on the 4090 at 4K.
That's massive, but the reason why this is, I think, is because the 4090 has like a chat. Doesn't the 4090 they said had like some new tech in it that rearranges the workload when it comes down to ray tracing or whatever the fuck, right? It makes it getting more frames because of the priority they have in the system. That, yeah, the DLSS bullshit, like. Yeah, so I think that this is like to be expected.
Okay, but still good, without DLSS.
Yeah, it predicts the frames. It's predicting it. Yeah.
That's almost...
Oh, this is off, okay.
4 times the performance. And when we turn ray tracing on in the much older Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the 4090 is capable of nearly doubling the minimum FPS of the 3090 Ti. That brings this title from mostly 60 FPS or more at 4K to a buttery, smooth 100 to 120 FPS, all without DLSS. With DLSS, in performance mode, Cyberpunk manages an average of 144 FPS, with 1% lows over 120 FPS.
That's massive!
That's right, you can get buttery smooth 4K 120 with ray tracing on this card if you're okay with DLSS. Shadow of the Tomb Raider in DLSS quality mode is just ridiculous, where the 3090 Ti can't quite reach
Is this mostly because of the fucking
90 FPS and 5% lows? The 4090 is fast enough to comfortably drive a 144 Hz 4K monitor.
Because ray tracing without the new thing is like hardcore because it has so much reflections and shit like that. Because of the new thing, it skyrockets because of
Now, you might be wondering about the new DLSS 3.0, NVIDIA's AI frame generation technology.
Yeah, I'm right about this.
We're wondering too. Unfortunately, all of our cards, even the third-party ones that we're not allowed to show you today, all of them crashed. A lot. Like a lot, even across multiple benches. As a result, the labs weren't able to properly test DLSS 3.0, and we'd like more ray tracing results than we got. We'll have all of that missing data in a follow-up, so stay tuned. But okay, what if you're not a big gamer? Well, you're in luck, because this thing is also a productivity beast. In Blender, it gets over double the samples per minute in both the monster and junk shop scenes, and just under double in the older classroom scene. That's a substantial time savings, and might be worth it on its own if you're a 3D artist.
Why do you think
Similarly, our 4K DaVinci Resolve export finished nearly a minute faster. A difference of roughly 25%, something that'll also add up over time, especially for timelines with a lot of rendered graphical effects.
That's insane.
SpecViewPerf, meanwhile, shows massive gains across the board, with the most substantial improvements in 3ds Max, Maya, Medical, and SolidWorks at nearly double the score. While Creo only saw a modest performance improvement of around 10%.
I know this is.
Still, this is like looking at a completely different class of GPU, not a typical generational improvement. With all of these performance gains,
guys, I don't know what any of this shit is.
NVIDIA had right now. It's nearly as fast as NVIDIA's existing H.264
I'm not
and
a big tech
H.265 encoders, which is pretty impressive.
That's cool, though.
Of course, all of these
last
power target that NVIDIA...
Yes, I want to see power consumption after this I'm done.
The power draw. In order to reach the power target that NVIDIA set for it, the RTX 4090...
Watch the AV1?
It's not everything either. Another big part of productivity that many companies, Intel and Apple included, are taking very seriously is video encoding. And NVIDIA's out to prove that they're not sleeping on the job.
What, video encoding?
Not only do you get the same high-quality encoder that first debuted on the RTX 20 series as we saw on our...
Yeah, this is what we used to for stream, yeah. What about it?
DaVinci Resolve test, but you get two of them, and they're both capable of AV1. AV1 is the new codec that's likely to take over for live and on-demand streaming on sites like YouTube and Twitch. And while it can produce significantly better video quality at the same bit rates, it's significantly more time-consuming and difficult to encode, unless you have hardware dedicated for it. Intel Arc launched with it as a headline feature, and it's a safe bet that it'll become more important as time goes on. Unfortunately, we don't have the time right now to do a proper test of it for the review, so again, stay tuned for a future video comparing AV1.
Wait, this could be revolutionary, legit. Chat, guys, could this Intel Arc combo be actually better than the current encoding with NVENC or not?
Encoders. What I can tell you today is that it's nearly as fast as NVIDIA's existing H.264 and H.265 encoders, which is pretty impressive. Of course, all of these capabilities come with some drawbacks. The first of which...
Wait, did the comments get some info wrong? I was hoping AMD won't disappoint. I'm disappointed. I haven't seen cards get bounced. The price in the cards are beyond crazy. This is the first card. Anthony posted the comments in the shoe, but the confirmed DLSS was a different setting. It wasn't setting. Oh, they fucked up the DLSS bullshit benchmarks. Okay, cool.
The power draw. In order to reach the power target that NVIDIA set for it, the RTX 4090 universally requires an ATX 3.0 connector and comes with adapters for it in the box. As the specs indicated, our RTX 4090 draws nearly as much power under gaming load as the RTX 3090 Ti.
This is not bad.
Though it did stay closer to 425 watts than its rated 450. This is a sharp contrast against the RTX 3090 and 6950 XT, which consistently both pulled nearly 100 watts less. This does not bode well for an eventual RTX 4090 Ti. At least the power targets on the 4080 series cards are lower, though we don't have any of those to test today. When we hit the RTX 4090 with a more demanding load via MSI Combustor, power consumption skyrockets to the red line for both the RTX 4090 and the 3090 Ti. Though curiously, about halfway through, it kind of dips down to about 440, which is kind of strange. Meanwhile, the RTX 3090...
This is kind of cool, though. Chat, guys, this means that with the same... Guys, people complain that streams aren't watchable because of the bitrate, okay? Let me say something in the chat, it's kind of cool, okay? Nobody asks about this shit, okay? But listen.
Nah, lil bro, dead ass me gameplay for the
6.5K, whatever,
got leaked link.
Right? This is not the cap that Twitch is at overall. People say, oh, dude,
none of those
streams look like shit because we don't have a high bit rate like YouTube, but because YouTube doesn't have enough, a lot of streamers compared to Twitch, but whatever, right? This means that we have better quality for the same bit rate, which is a massive deal. It means that the streams are going to be better to watch with the same bit rate limitations that Twitch are setting. Who cares any of this shit? Fuck me, man. Who cares about this shit?